Hello and welcome to episode number 3 of the Fit Without the Fuss podcast. My name is Luke Melville. I'm an online transformation coach, and as always, I'm joined by sports massage therapist and coach Darren Carroll. Darren, welcome to episode number 3 already.
Yeah, we're getting through them, aren't we?
You're literally,
It's been fun so far. So I know people are watching now and taking it on board and enjoying it. So I had some good feedback in the gym last week, which was great to hear.
Nice.
So,
nice one. How was your week since we last spoke?
Busy through the week, and then thankfully a quiet weekend. So
Nice.
just back in 2 days at home, just focusing on family and the kids.
Yeah.
Catch up on chores and just enjoying some downtime.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about yourself?
Yeah, I was going to say last week, it was just a really quick week. Just went by, didn't it? Click of a finger.
Yeah.
But busy week, lots of stuff to do. And then, on the weekend, we kind of had like a family gathering. So we all got together. That was quite nice to see everyone. Obviously straight back to it today. Did a heavy leg session this morning. I managed to do, you might not be impressed with this actually, but I managed to do some barbell squats, and I haven't done them probably in about 4 or 5 months.
Okay. Any reason why you're not? Or just practice them out?
No, it was out of the program due to hack squats, basically.
They are it's tough to get back into them.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Oh, my hips, my ass is literally, already. I think it's good at the barbell squats. They really do stretch your hips out compared to like a hack squat that you just sit in the movement, doesn't it?
Yeah, because you're leaning forward so much more. There's much more hip flexion.
Yeah.
Plus you're loading the lower back as well.
Yeah, literally.
Getting a bit more work into the glutes.
But no, it's all good. Yeah, decent session there. So just before we jump in, if you guys have any questions, make sure you post them in the comment section below, and then myself or Darren will answer them in the next episode. Okay, so this is obviously episode 3. We are doing episode 4 and 5 recorded, and then episode 6 we will be live. Okay, so obviously when we're live we can take questions literally as they come in. But for now, any questions, post them in the comment section below, and we'll obviously happily answer them for you. I'm just going to check from last week if there was any questions, and I can't see any. So, easy shift for us, Darren. No questions.
Yep.
Happy days. So, literally. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the 6 signs you're falling off track. Okay, so 6 things that could be potentially happening that is, making you silently falling off track. Okay. So Darren, we'll start with you. What's number 1? What's the first sign that people are sometimes falling off track and they're not aware of it?
So for me is my first clue for me is when people are not sticking to the plan. Boredom creeps in.
Yeah.
So you've been in the routine for a couple of weeks. You're desperate for the results. You're putting the hard work in, but you're not seeing the results you want. People start second guessing. Let's say the boredom kicks in, the repetition can kick in. And then we start to go off course. We start to train different exercises. We start looking at what everyone else is doing, where everyone else appears to be successful. Okay, maybe we start questioning ourselves. Should I be doing that or should I be doing this?
Yeah. I think comparing yourself is a big one, isn't it? Especially on a gym program, because sometimes, when you're training with a mate and they're like, "Oh, I'm doing this," and you start to think, "Oh, why are they doing that? Why am I not doing that?" That comes up a lot.
Doesn't it? And that's it. So if someone else is doing, if you're doing something different, your first thought is, "Oh crap, I'm doing something wrong."
Yeah, literally.
But for everyone, there has to be that trust the process, which I'm sure is something you've said to clients many a time.
Yeah.
So,
literally.
But this goes back a little bit to what we were talking about last week, where we were talking about setting up in 4-week blocks.
Yes. So
that sort of, you almost give yourself that deadline and you keep yourself focused.
Yeah.
So I find that really helps. I don't know if you're familiar with Parkinson's law.
Parkinson's law, yeah. My wife throws me that one all the time.
Yep.
All the time, yeah.
And again, it's one, with my goal setting with my clients and for myself, it's something I use all the time.
Yeah. And for people that are unfamiliar with Parkinson's law, if I'm right, that's basically you choose a time you want to get a task done by, and usually you can get it done by that date or time, can't you? If you focus on it.
Yeah. And then the converse of that is if you don't have a deadline, you won't succeed because you'll always, I'll do it next week. I'll do it next week.
Yeah. Just be a forever thing.
A lot of people when they, particularly around things like weight loss.
Yes.
People have a vague idea of what weight they want to hit. but there's no deadline to achieve things by.
Yeah.
So they will use forever to keep going up and down because it's I'll get back on it next week. I'll get back on it
Yeah.
next week.
And I think that deadline just creates that little bit of urgency, doesn't it?
And that's it. I mean, it just
Yeah.
focuses you.
Yeah.
And
I think
again,
it
so
literally does. Really.
I will often diet people for just 8 or 12 weeks at a time.
Yeah.
And say, right, there's our deadline. Let's get what we can done in that deadline. Give you a bit of a break, and then go back on it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. No, I think it's a good one. Yeah, I'll come in with a sign now. You're falling off track. One of my one is constant soreness. Constant soreness, because a lot of people actually, and this is kind of a myth really, but a lot of people feel like they have to be sore after a gym session in order for them to, get gains, build muscle, whatever it is. And simply it's not true. Studies have shown that as long as you've science really, it's all about muscle growth, damaging the muscle fibers, and you don't actually need that soreness the next day. No. So I think people in that respect will probably overtrain a little bit more to get the soreness the next day, which is probably counterproductive and a sign that you're falling off a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, and again, we think of if we think of it in a weightlifting context, you shouldn't be chasing the soreness. You should be say you're a bodybuilder, we're changing your physique. You should be chasing the pump and feeling that. But soreness isn't necessary, and more often than not desired for most people.
Right, okay.
Because you don't want to train on a Monday and be sore for another 3 days when you're going to be getting out of the car, sat at the desk, working away, and you're probably sore from all the squats you did. Yeah, that's not ideal.
No. And I think soreness generally comes from either new exercises, which is common, or change of intensity on the same exercise. Potentially, soreness can be resolved a little bit by stretching out the muscle. I always tell people if you're sore, stretch it out. It just allows a little bit of blood flow, nutrient flow to the muscle.
Yeah, certainly there is value in stretching because you train, you are getting the muscles tighter.
Yeah.
Yes, stretching does increase that blood flow. It does loosen things up for a period of time and to an extent.
Yeah,
but stretching is worth doing repeatedly, particularly when soreness is present.
Yeah. Okay.
But soreness should never be the goal.
Yeah.
It should always be, whatever it is you're doing, whether it's lifting or running, as long as your numbers are improving, soreness is purely a side effect. It's not the goal. Your goal should be improving your numbers by whatever metric you're assessing and trying to progress.
Yeah, it's a good show, isn't it? So many people just see the soreness. And the number one for guys, as we're guys, is when, especially men, when they have their favorite chest day, they want to have a sore chest the next day, don't they?
Yep.
And it's just one of those.
I can't do it. Not my chest anyway. So.
It's one of them. But Darren, what's point number 3?
So one for me is doing too much to try and force the results. Okay. So what I mean by that is runners, as an example. I'm just using them as an example. I heard of the Couch to 5K.
Yeah.
Well, that's a really nice progressive plan, and it starts at a very nice low level, as an introduction level.
Yeah.
You do week 1, you do week 2, you do week 3, and it gradually progresses you. Now, what I often see is people do week 1, and it'll be very easy. So they'll get back. They're not struggled, they're not out of breath. So they will jump to week 4 or week 5 because they feel that I should be out of breath, I should be gasping and panting.
Yeah.
Because they've missed those 3 to 4 weeks, what often happens is they've been assessing their heart and their lungs, but they haven't been assessing, say, the legs or the structure.
Right.
So if they jump to weeks 4 or 5, suddenly they'll get knee pain, shin pain, calf pain, backache.
Yeah.
And it's because they've jumped those 3 to 4 weeks and haven't actually followed the progression that causes issues. And then as soon as we start seeing pain and uncomfortableness, discomfort, whatever it is, that's when we see them dropping off. And again, same with weightlifting. Some people are lifting too fast too soon.
Yeah.
And not learning the skill of the lift. And also they're just not allowing the body to adjust and get stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. And I probably you could say this with a nutrition aspect as well, in terms
Yeah,
of dropping calories too fast,
absolutely. Yeah.
increasing calories too fast for muscle growth. I think it just all comes down to patience with that one, doesn't it?
One is patience,
Yeah.
and two, I think we spoke on this previously. Understanding what is a good rate of progress.
Yeah.
So we're always being
It's the knowledge.
presented, whether it's adverts, Instagram, YouTube, we're always
Mm,
seeing the best case scenario.
mm.
We're not seeing the average or the realistic.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
again, we've seen adverts where people have lost between what, £5 to £10 in 1 week. And it
Mm.
sounds brilliant. But across a 20-week diet, the truth is you're going to lose £1 to £2 a week.
Yeah,
And that's a good result.
yeah.
So, and
But
again, I think most people do not get the message of this is how far or how fast you should be progressing.
yeah. And
I
I think it's that comparison side as well, because someone could have a friend or family member who progressed really quickly, might have lost a load of
yeah,
weight very fast, so then their expectation is also the same.
yeah,
But then what you got to think is, and what I've noticed over the years is, the guys that lose a lot of weight quickly, they actually stall out for a long period of time,
yeah.
which is interesting, isn't it? And then the guys
And
that
also
take a
they're the
long
ones that are
time,
going to harder rebound.
yeah, exactly that, yeah.
So,
The guys that take a while for their body weight to get down, but when
yeah,
it starts moving quick.
yeah.
And it's a really weird thing, isn't it? I mean, we're all different. We can't really compare our bodies to your friends, your
Yeah.
family, that type of thing. Really, can you?
But also, if you're losing £1 to £2 weekly,
Mm,
it can be a fairly comfortable process
mm.
because you're not approaching it with a feast or famine attitude.
Yeah, I think
You
so.
are shaving a couple of 100 calories off every day, every week or two. It's
Yeah,
not drop 500 calories 1 week, drop another 500 the next week, and just,
yeah,
really just almost punishing yourself.
yeah. No,
Whereas,
I think that's a
certainly
good
for the
point.
people I work with, and probably the same for you, when we're talking dieting, we're thinking of a lifestyle.
Mm,
So we have to, I take the approach of, right, we need to find habits that are good, you can sustain. So we want
mm.
to get you down £20, but at the end of that, we want to make sure you're in a place where you can keep that off.
Yeah,
Whereas a
yeah,
lot of people who are doing this very aggressive dieting, they'll drop the £20, but very quickly it's probably going to come back, or a large
yeah.
part of it is. So
Yeah, it's one of those sort of easy come, easy go, isn't it?
yeah,
One of those things. I think as well, regarding the weight loss in terms of like the weekly drops, with round numbers, people like to, like you said before, a good target is £1, £2 per week.
yeah.
But in real life, it doesn't happen like that. It's
Oh
actually
no.
£1 down, two up, three down, one up,
Oh
one
yeah,
down.
yeah,
And that's the reality. But if you look over the long term, it
yeah,
probably does average one or two. But yeah,
yeah,
I think that's another point to make, especially for
yeah,
people that are weight loss. Oh, I didn't get my pound down this week. It's
yeah,
like, no, no, no. What you hear online of the pound, £2 down per week,
yeah,
yes, it is right on the average scale. But what you need to know is that it doesn't happen every single week
yeah.
like that. And obviously, yeah.
And then just on a side note for the any women that are listening,
Mm,
when you weigh yourself, keep it in the context of your menstrual cycle.
mm,
Because you'll have had women where there's quite a big fluctuation where they are in their cycle, which is completely misleading in terms of what their
mm.
diet is doing.
Yeah,
So I will, with women, I'll often compare week 1 to week 5, not 1, 2, 3, 4.
nice. Yeah.
So we are landing in that same point in the menstrual cycle. So we're giving them a fair test.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Yeah. No, that's a really good shout. We cover the menstrual cycle as well in the education part. And again, it's almost, what I mainly say to the ladies is you've really got to listen to your body, and
yeah,
you know your cycle. Don't let anyone change your opinion on what you think. You know your body, you know your body's cycle, and then you just adapt your training. And I think
yeah,
women naturally do anyway to a degree. They will back off because they
yeah,
feel a little bit tired at certain points. Their energy's high at certain points. And yeah, it's really interesting. But I think it all comes down to listening to your body, and your body will you'll lose the pounds when it's right for the body.
yeah,
And yeah, it's annoying. It just takes a bit of time, doesn't it? 'Cause I know
yeah.
people want it now, but just keep going. It will happen. It will happen. Point number 4 for me would be a sign that you're falling off track would be reduced sleep quality. So when your sleep is being sort of, it's not on par on what you'd normally get in terms of sleep quality. This is some people track their sleep with Fitbits and things like that. They can see their there's all different metrics now, isn't it? It's quite smart with the, with the sleep tracking.
Yeah.
Did you track your sleep, Darren, or
I don't.
no?
I was very wary of the sleep trackers when they first appeared.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
I was working with some clients who were wearing Fitbits and Apple Watches.
Yeah.
But what I found was they were so anxious about a good sleep score, it actually made their sleep worse.
Oh, right. Yeah, wow.
Because they were, oh, quick, check the watch. Oh, no, I'm sleeping really badly. And that would encourage worse sleep.
Yeah.
So actually, I've had a couple of people who actually said, right, let's just not bother with it at all because you're worse off for it.
So that goes to the theory of I've got an exam tomorrow, I need to have a good night's sleep, and you don't.
Yes. Yep.
That basically.
Yeah, and that's the trouble. Some people, I think there's I can't think of the phrase now. They're over paralysis through analysis.
Yeah. Over analysis is paralysis. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's literally it, isn't it? It's almost like the more you know about something, it's not good for you, is it?
Yeah. So certainly I value sleep quality, but again, it's one of those things where I think most people know when you wake up the next morning, you have a good idea of whether you've had a good night's sleep or not.
Yeah.
So I think I personally myself, I'm quite wary of tracking too much. I want to keep things as natural and normal as possible. I don't want to be overanalyzing everything because I know some people would love to be on a spreadsheet and love to be checking all their numbers.
Yeah.
And there are some people, it becomes more and more overwhelming, especially when they're starting in this fitness journey. So
definitely.
It's a difficult one where you have to find that balance for an individual, how much you can ask them to work and how much they're willing to work.
Yeah.
But again, if sleep is an issue, then I would be tracking it. But
I mean, sleep's something that I cover in the foundation phase. And, every single week I get my clients every single day, really. They put down how many hours they slept last night. And that's cool. Basically, I mean, the sleep rule is basically, as soon as you've got into bed to when you've got out of bed, really. And then every week,
something as simple as that is good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just allowing me to see when they're going to bed, what time they're waking up. And then we also measure sleep quality in terms of just a simple rating of 1 to 10. Now, what this does is, say, for example, someone rated their sleep quality 4 out of 10 this week, then I have, again, a rough indication, but it's enough. I have an indication of, okay, they've had 4 out of 10 quality sleep. Their weight hasn't gone down this week. Some of their lifts have actually gone down as well. I can look at the sleep and it all marries up. So again, a simple rating like that, I get.
Yeah, I mean, I use a 1 to 10 scale on my check-ins with clients. But again, it's nothing more in depth than that for me. So.
But over the years, I've just found out that a simple 1 to 10 rating in certain areas is actually all you need. You don't need to overcomplicate.
Yeah, I think
especially as a coach.
For most people, all you need to do is just draw attention to it. And I mean, that's one of the beauties of the check-ins is, your clients can do a check-in and they start to self-assess and realize what's going on anyway.
Yeah.
So with the check-in, it often does the work for you because you're just getting the client to self-reflect. So they really can be valuable without you even speaking to them.
Yeah. So, no, 100%. And then, each week you do the rating, and then over the weeks and months, especially when I show the clients the chart on the check-in, they can see, maybe they might hover around the 7 and 8s. And then for me, I know 7 and 8 is their good number. They're sleeping well. When it drops to a 4, and then it bounces back up, that week they had poor sleep. And usually there's a reason why, stress might be higher, and you look at that chart. And it's just, like you said, clients look at it and go, this is all making sense now. And I think,
and again, like 2 weeks ago, I'm sure sleep scores were crap because it was so hot in this country.
100%. Yeah, 100%. And I'm pretty sure is there going to be
a heat wave? Sleep was shit. So
yeah. I mean, there's going to be, I think is there a heat wave again soon, isn't there? So again, sleep's going to be.
Yeah, and coming to the end of this week.
Yeah.
So hopefully it won't be too bad because I think we're somewhat adjusted to the heat a bit more because it's been consistently warm here.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's
hopefully
hopefully
everyone will be scoring a bit better. So, and if not, they've all bought fans by now. So
yeah, I mean, the aircon units are going fast everywhere. So people are not turning to fans, they're turning to aircon units now.
Yeah, well, my wife's ordered some fans, so they'll arrive in October, I guess.
Yeah. So, oh, literally.
On the back order.
Nice one. But yeah, that sleep basically sign is you're falling off track. If you do notice you're your sleep, maybe you're going to bed a little bit later than usual, or maybe you're waking up in the night. These
Yeah.
little signs, they can slow you down, especially in the gym. It can affect your
Yeah.
strength performance and things like that. A little tip I would have for you regarding the sleep, and this is what we focus on in the coaching, is your evening routine. Okay, your evening routine is crucial for your sleep. And again, you must have that what I call, and for my clients, we must have that 30-minute window of relaxation. Okay. You can use screens, but again, non-stimulating apps. Okay. No social media, no games to overthink, just real sort of simple wind down, easy to watch TV, no dramas, nothing, murder mystery, nothing like that. Just a wind down, half an hour. And then, yeah, it massively does set you up for sleep. So yeah, that one I just put in there, quality of sleep for the guys there. What was point number 5?
Okay, so for me, the number 5 is pushing through pain. So this is my business essentially. So a lot of people when they're training, we spoke about soreness. There's a difference between soreness and pain, and a lot of people will try and push through that pain, as in they will keep trying to increase the weight or at least maintain weight. There seems to be this fear of losing strength and losing muscle in a week or two, which really isn't the case. It takes months to lose strength. Yes, you can lose size after a few weeks. As soon as you get, but again, most of that is the water and the glycogen stored in the muscle. That's not the actual muscle tissue itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the things I see, and like I say, is pretty for what my business thrives on, is people train, they're in pain, but they will keep training and trying to push through it. And obviously, there's no logic to that because
I was going to say, why do people do that? It's quite weird, isn't it?
Ego,
Yeah.
ego, and people don't want their training to go backwards.
Yeah. Just refuse.
It was interesting. You posted some deadlifts this week, and you actually put the program. So it was what, 2 sets of 5, 3 sets of 5, 4 sets of 5, 5 sets of 5. I think it was.
Yeah, it goes
That's
up to
the
6 sets.
Block,
yeah,
and then repeat.
Yeah, that's it.
What you've done there is you created a progression. So you're doing 2 sets, 3 sets, 4 sets, 5 sets.
Yeah.
Then reset 2 sets, 3. So what you've done is you've actually backed off your training and then worked back up again, brought it down and worked back up. And you've got this staggering ladder.
That's it.
Well, most people are trying to force this continuation.
Right. Okay.
The body can't sustain it. So, particularly in strength training, the body cannot consistently keep getting stronger. You look at all the top athletes, they get strong for a while, then they back off, then they strength, especially look at like powerlifting programs. They have peaks and their troughs. But yeah, what a lot of people are doing is they're getting to pain, to the point of pain, but they're still trying to train and get through it and hope that the pain goes away. But as I say, that pain is an indicator that something is wrong. Structurally, whether it's the muscle, the skeleton, the tendons, whatever it is, something is wrong. And the sooner you adjust that or accommodate for it, then you can potentially keep progressing. But if you keep forcing it, all you're doing is increasing that pain and increasing your likelihood of injury.
Yeah.
And then once you're injured, you don't have a choice. You're not training.
Yeah.
Or you can't be doing what you want to. And because you forced it, instead of getting it looked at and seen to, you're actually away from what you want to be doing for longer. So yeah, pain is normally a good indicator that someone's going to be dropping off. Or they're dropping off from certain exercises.
Yeah. I was going to say with you, if someone does have pain, so say, for example, you've got some women that are, say, doing squats and they feel pain in their knee, or the guy's doing barbell bench press and they got a little bit of pain in their shoulder. These pains that people get, is this a sign that they just simply need more rest?
Sometimes yes. Sometimes it's a sign of weakness. So it's interesting. You mentioned about they're both interesting subjects. So the first one you said with the women with their knees. Well, a lot of people, when they squat, they do a lot of work through their quads, which is why the knees are hurting. They're not getting enough work being done by the glutes and the hamstrings. So now the next question is, why are the glutes and the hamstrings not doing their share?
Mm.
And again, is that weakness in those muscles? Is that tiredness in those muscles? And
Yeah,
then
that
similarly
imbalance.
with bench press, you mentioned the guy's shoulders.
Mm.
Often, probably my biggest thing I treat is shoulders, front delts in guys. And yes, their front delts are tight, but normally there's a weakness across the shoulder blade. And it's that
Okay.
weakness and that tightness in the shoulder blade
Yeah.
in that they can't stabilize the shoulder when they're pressing is resulting in pain in the front delt.
Oh, well, that's interesting. That's really
So
interesting.
pain doesn't tell us what's wrong. It just tells
Mm.
us something is wrong.
Yeah.
And then we've got to assess and test and try and ascertain what is the weakness that's
Yeah.
resulting in this pain, because structurally something isn't stable and that's what's causing our pain.
Yeah, no, it's a really good shout. I normally say as well, if you get a pain somewhere, especially in the joint, not obviously if it's a pain in the muscle, you know it's obviously the muscle, but if it's in the joint, it's normally a knock-on effect from somewhere else, isn't it?
Yeah,
With the pains in the joints. So if someone, for example, if someone had knee pain, obviously you're the professional, I'm not, but I would be looking at kind of like the hip joint and all the muscles around the hips, because 9 times out of
yeah,
10, it's coming actually from there, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. That or the ankles. Number of
Yeah.
so yeah, obviously I test the joints, and again,
Mm.
people come to me with knee pain. I'll test the knee; they're
Hmm.
absolutely fine. I start testing the hip or the ankle, suddenly the knee starts to hurt.
Yeah.
So right, okay, so right, I'm bringing your knee to your chest. I'm flexing the hip. Now
Yeah.
your knee hurts when I bend your hip. Okay, so
Mm.
now we're starting to get an idea of what's wrong and where this source of pain is coming from.
Yeah, nice one. No, it is really interesting, isn't it? Pushing through the pain part, and like you said, I think it's the ego. I think you hit that spot on. It's the ego part. People just don't want to drop the weights because they feel they've got
Yeah.
this identity for themselves as
Well,
no,
unfortunately,
I lift heavy weights.
it's just arguably it's a step backwards, but
Mm.
unfortunately, with that comes a sense of failure because you feel like actually, I'm trying really hard to progress, but now
Yeah,
your body's doing the opposite.
yeah. In terms of like in longevity, would you rather train for the next 20 years or would you rather train for the next 5 months? So I think the longevity part is
Yeah.
massive.
And this is one of the things that I think is interesting is I think a lot of us as trainers or coaches, we factor some of these things in.
Mm.
So we accept that people get tired, they get sore, and we factor that into the training.
Mm.
But we're not very good at communicating that to the client, where you
Mm.
might say, right, for this week, I've intentionally taken your 3 sets of 8 squats. We're going to turn that into 2 sets of 15, purely because I just want to take some intensity out of your legs. We're still going to work your legs, we can have a bit of recovery, then we'll push back on the 3x8.
Yeah.
Things like that. I don't think we're very good at communicating to clients what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Yeah, I think it can be. I mean, to be honest, when you're coaching, you give obviously the clients everything that they need, and then when they get an injury or when they start to get tired, it's almost like it's almost too late because it's already
Yeah,
happened. And then for a lot of
it
coaches,
is.
it's like, oh, I need to react now. But then it's in terms of no, I think the plan just needs adjusting from that
Yeah.
point,
I mean,
rather
it's a
than a
tough one
total
because
change.
there are plenty of coaches now. There's a really big trend in coaching to plan deload weeks, whether it's every 4 weeks, every 6 weeks.
Mm.
Well, the problem with that is, how do you know that it's 4 weeks or how do you know it's 6 weeks? Your client could be absolutely flying for 4 weeks and then suddenly you bring them, right, we're coming all the way back down. And then you decide
Yeah,
to put them back up. Well, they could have had another 3 or 4 weeks.
yeah,
You've got to have open communication with them.
yeah.
The client has to say, I'm feeling great. I want to keep pushing. Or they have to say, I'm
Mm.
feeling tired. And again, that's going to come down to like your communication, your check-in forms, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
again,
definitely.
a good coach can adjust and go, right, okay, you're starting to show signs of tiredness. Let's make an adjustment
Yeah.
because, this is the goal. But yeah, we need to ease off on the gas for a little bit
Mm.
so that we can push on hard now, rather, as you say, keep pushing to the point of breaking.
Yeah, yeah. No, I would agree.
You can write a really good 10-week program,
Mm.
but if the client can only sustain it for 5 weeks, then the program is only good for the 5 weeks.
Yeah, and
Don't
that's
try
it.
and
That's it, isn't it?
force. Don't try and force through that 10 weeks just because it's
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
So,
I mean, me myself with say my own training, I've never done, and I don't really force this on clients, but I don't really believe in the deloads because like
Well,
I
like I
think it's
said,
like you said with the timing, because
yeah,
you can't, you don't know what you're going to be feeling like in the future.
yeah,
So I think you can't. I think if you're feeling good, train as long as
yeah,
you can. And I think we naturally have a deload when I know what some weeks I'm really tired. I'll literally have the week off, and that's my
yeah,
natural deload. Is not really go
yeah.
in and train. It's actually just rest and then go back in.
But again, this goes back to your what we were talking about with your training with your deadlifts. You're programming
Mm.
there
Yeah.
that you're doing the 2 sets of 5, 3 sets of 5. You've automatically programmed in the deload because you
Yeah,
haven't peaked in that
technically, yeah,
volume
yeah,
and you've dropped it down and you're picking it back up.
yeah,
Well, there are lots of strength programs and running programs that do that. You look at like marathon training. Guys training for a marathon, they will run 10K one Sunday, 15 the next, then 11, then 18, and that volume is undulating. So they're
mm,
building the volume up one week, but then the next week they're actually bringing it back down quite heavily. But then that allows them to rise up again. So there's lots
nice,
of
yeah,
programs that actually have that factored in already.
yeah,
But again,
yeah,
it's just that, as I said, is that communicating that
yeah,
we are intentionally stepping back for a week to allow you to push
yeah.
on the next week. So
Yeah, yeah, and I think people see the gym a little bit differently to these like running programs. I mean, you could say it with any sport, but people go in and think the more gym sessions I do, the bigger I'm going to get, or the
yeah,
leaner I'm going to get. And I think that that's the issue, isn't it? They're not following a proper program. They're just going in to train to get
yeah,
bigger or whatever their goal is, but there's no
yeah,
like method behind it, is there really? Yeah, and just the final point on this one, the final sign of falling off track for me would be not tracking food on the weekend. I think if you're someone who's been tracking food for a long time, and then eventually you get to the point where you think I'm not going to track food on weekends, I think for me that's a sign you're going to start to fall off track. The weekends is very common for people not to track. They will track probably Monday to Friday afternoon, and then from Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, they don't track. And this is where a lot of people end up not progressing, if so, regressing, not gaining weight for muscle. They're not, losing
yeah,
body fat for tracking calories on the weekend. It's just one of those things where people want to enjoy their freedom on the weekend. They want to be social. That's
yeah,
absolutely fine. I totally understand that. I was like that. But then, if you're serious about your goal, there needs to be some form of
yeah,
tracking or discipline somewhere on that weekend,
yeah.
because you've got this goal, you've got this objective that you want. So yeah, just really be careful of that. My advice to you though, if you don't like tracking food on the weekends, would be you'd probably need to switch up your meal structure a little bit and say to yourself, right, if I have some social occasions on, I'm going to need to be disciplined for the days leading up to that social event. Maybe hold on the calories before this social event. Make sure you're hydrated.
Yeah.
Enjoy your food. But a tip for you is just don't be full. Don't fill yourself up. Don't stuff yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
Because that is the moment where you ruin it all. Eat until you feel nice, leave the day there, and back on it the next day. And I guarantee that doesn't ruin any results. Okay. But yeah, the tracking food on the weekend, I think, is a huge thing.
The normal I've had when on that subject of weekends, this goes back to when I was coaching and doing my coaching in London. I
Oh,
had one
nice.
client, he was really good through the week,
Hmm.
but every Monday his weight would go up. And he told me, I did, I mean, this guy was obsessed, whereas chicken and veg, even to the point where it was overkill what he was trying to do, but he was gaining
Eating
weight.
too clean. Yeah.
But what was happening was I said, okay. And he said, oh, I went out with friends for a meal on Friday night. I was, okay. So what we'll do is look, we'll weigh you on the Monday and then weigh you on the Friday, and you would drop 2 or 3 pounds. The following Monday, he was up another pound from the previous Monday. So his weekends, he was actually gaining 3 or 4 pounds
Wow.
because
he was having such a blowout of the weekend
Mm.
that he'd undid all the good work he'd done during the week.
Mm.
And, it sucked for him because he enjoyed his social life.
Yeah.
But, we had to do that thing of, right, I'm really sorry, but your weekend is actually taking you further away from your goals.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is a useful tool to, like I say, weigh yourself on the Monday, weigh yourself on the Friday, weigh yourself again on the Monday, because you can then start to get an idea of how impactful your weekends are where you're not
Mm.
tracking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like
definitely.
yeah, so you work hard Monday to Friday,
Yep.
then you weigh yourself on the Friday, think, oh cool, I've dropped 2-3 pound.
Yep.
Are you now going to go and blow all that by enjoying your weekend and think on
Mm.
Monday, crap, I've gained 2 pound?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you always give yourself a bit of self motivation. Now, I don't want people weigh themselves twice a week, every week,
Mm.
but as a tool to give you an understanding of what's going on in your body across the week, it can be quite useful just to weigh through the week and across the weekend.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll tell you what is common as well is we touched upon this in the education is the binge restrict cycle.
Yeah,
So again, usually it's on the weekends where people will go out, they'll binge, and then they
yeah,
usually restrict themselves in the week, maybe Monday to Friday, and then a big binge, and they're
yeah.
in this cycle. And for
It's like you
it's
reverse
really
the all
common.
or nothing.
Yeah, yeah. It just goes back to that. And like I say to the guys, it's okay. Well, if you go for a binge, yes, because we have weekly average targets, there is still time to bring your average calories down for the week, but you're going to be
Yeah,
having low calories. You're going to be restricting yourself, and this is just repeating. So the best thing to do is if you're in a binge restrict cycle, is after a binge, do not restrict. Okay, so after the
yeah.
binge day, you go back to your normal plan because it's the restricting part that's causing the binge
Yeah.
ultimately.
I mean, the
So
body doesn't like such fluctuations anyway. So you're actually probably detrimental to your goal anyway, whether
yeah, 100%, 100%.
because obviously we talk about I don't know if you ever discuss carb cycling with clients.
I don't go into that depth
But
if I'm being honest. Yeah,
so essentially carb cycling is days of high carb and days of low
yeah,
carb.
yeah.
Well, the fluctuations are not actually that big. They're actually fairly small numbers.
Oh, right, okay.
And again, like I say, the body likes consistency.
Mm,
Because if you're changing what you're feeding it every day or what you're stimulating with every day,
mm,
that goes up, that goes down. It doesn't know what it's adjusting to because you're offering it no
no,
consistency.
yeah,
Um, like I say, it doesn't know what you're asking of it.
yeah.
The more
I
consistent you
think
can be,
yeah.
the more feedback you can get from the body in terms of what is and isn't working.
Yeah, I remember for I think it was one of my shows. I had John as one of my coaches. He basically set me the same calories for every single day. So that
Yep.
was basically the same. And then, yeah, you're right. There are other coaches that will carb cycle, high day, low days, that type of
Yep.
thing. Um, and yeah, I mean, if you're looking at the average total, the carb cycling thing, again, is it one of those that's essential? Some people say,
I mean,
yes, you
you
may need
fluctuate.
higher days when your body stalls on lower body fat percentages.
I mean, I think some of
Again,
it
I'm
is
not a
energy
specialist
for
in that area,
training
but
as well.
yeah.
But again, the point I was getting at was it's only a couple of hundred calories. It's not
Mm.
a drastic.
Yeah, it's not
Like, you can
massive,
have an
is it?
extra
Yeah.
500 grams of rice today, for example.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It is fairly small numbers.
Mm.
So
And the proteins and the fats, they're exactly the same.
yeah, they're pretty much consistent. Yep.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
So technically the meals are all still the same. It's just the carbs, isn't it? That gets
Yep.
reduced. But yeah, that was just one of the points there. So yeah, for you guys obviously watching the 6 signs that you're falling off track. The number one was I'll read the list. It was obviously the constant soreness. So just be careful of that. You don't need to be sore after every single workout. Reduced sleep quality, like I mentioned. So again, if you notice your sleep suffering, again, try and be obviously awareness is the first sign of change. So once you're aware of that, see if you can make changes. Okay, and the number one thing I recommend for you, again, there's loads of tips to improve your sleep quality, but the main tip is the evening routine. Okay, the wind down routine, and make sure you can set yourself a sleep schedule. Okay, because it really does boost your energy for the day. Your body gets in that routine. Third one from me was the not tracking food on the weekend, like we just covered. Obviously, Darren, mentioning not sticking to the plan due to boredom. I think that's a really good point.
Yep.
Again, another point Darren mentioned. You're not doing. You're doing too much to get faster results. So again, for these guys, just pushing too much to get quicker results. Again, it just doesn't work. You end up going backwards. And then the other point Darren mentioned was pushing through the pain and not adjusting. Any last words on those points, Darren?
Not really. No, because if
No.
anything, it all leads into my final tip of the day, really. So
Yeah. Nice one. Yeah. So about that, actually, yeah, I'll let you go first. What's your
Okay,
what's your tip to leave everyone?
my tip is you need to accept that you can only improve so much in a week.
Mm.
So, for example, we've touched on weight loss.
Mm.
That's typically going to be £1 to £2 a week.
Mm.
You can't force it to be faster than that in the long term. So, accept that. In terms of getting stronger, you can only get stronger so fast.
Mm.
Running, for example, again, you're going to get faster so fast. The body, when we're training, we're giving it these stimuluses. So, we give it this stimulus, then the body has to adjust to that stimulus. And that process, whether it's repairing muscle, repairing tendons, whatever it is, that's going to take time. Yes, there's things we can do that, like improve sleep, improve your nutrition, but it will only ever be so fast. So we have to be accepting that processes have to happen and will only happen at a certain speed.
Mm. Yeah.
So patience is key.
Mm.
So, as I've said in the past, I work in 4-week blocks.
Mm.
I will set the target for that 4 weeks. Over the next 4 weeks, this is what I expect.
Mm.
If you get this number, that's great. If you hit this number, that's still good, but don't try and force beyond that. This is our expectancy.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's a really good point. My quick tip was, focus on winning the week rather than winning the day. So again, a longer term aspects like Darren's, especially you guys on a fat loss phase or wanting to, sort of lose body fat, even build muscle, that type of thing. I think it's really important that you give yourself a weekly target, because life does get in the way. It throws us off. Every day's not perfect. And if we're focused on winning every day, it's impossible for us to win every single day. And then that causes us to, be demotivated and eventually just give up. So focus on the week, okay? The bigger picture of the week. This is why I don't think many coaches do this, but I give clients a weekly step target, a weekly total. So their total for the week, say if it was 10,000 a day, their total would be 70,000 steps. So when they check in, I can see the number and go, oh, okay, Molly hit 71,200. Brilliant. She hit over 70,000. That's all that matters. And the reason why I did that is because some days the guys were getting just under, or they would get really, probably half the steps done, and they'd be really demotivated. And I was thinking, hang on, you got the rest of the week. I think let's make this a total target for the week. You've got all week to hit this target then. The pressure's off. If they have a bad day, it doesn't matter. And you've got the rest of the week to catch up. So yeah, my tip for you would be win the week. Okay, set yourself a weekly total target. And this could be anything for water, cardio. We do the same, total cardio minutes for the week. So you can do 10 minutes one day if you're rushed for time, do the other 20 later on, whatever it is. Okay, so yeah, that's my little tip for you. Any final points, Darren, before we go?
No, I'm good.
No, all good.
What I'll say is, guys, listening to this, please throw us your questions because we want to make sure we are giving you the help you need.
Absolutely. So yes, that's all from us in this episode. The links to our socials and our websites are in the description below, so make sure you check that out. Darren, have you got any current sort of offers on at the moment?
At the moment, no. I'm just working on the next one step up. So keep a lookout for that. I will be doing what I call a scholarship, which will actually be a chance to win 3 months coaching with me.
Nice.
So I am just prepping that. So keep a look at that on my socials. Nice. So the posts will be coming in the next couple of weeks for that.
Nice. Oh, yeah, some good stuff coming there. Nice.
Yeah.
That's really good. And then, guys that have been following me, obviously, I've got the 8-week foundation phase, currently under £5 a week. Okay, so really cheap. I had actually someone sign up today, which was brilliant. So 5 slots remaining left, okay, before obviously the price doubles, because obviously it's really cheap. So yeah, if there is anything, again, links in the description below for that one. And yes, if you've made it this far into the video, please drop a like. Me and Darren would really appreciate it. And if you want your questions answered, like Darren mentioned, fire them in the comment section below and we'll make sure we answer them in the next episode. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll both see you in the next one. Take care.
Thanks, Luke.